Welcome into a emergency edition of the Pack Therapy Podcast. Sitting in for Mike Glennon, we have our very own Dennis Cox from here at 99.9 The Fan. But this is something that needs to be talked about immediately. According to Pack Pride, they have sources that have confirmed NC State quarterback MJ Morris plans to enter the transfer portal when it opens on Monday. Few things here. One, I don't see how this was going to end any other way.
Yeah.
As soon as you decide, hey, thanks but no thanks, I don't want to play the rest of this season, and you have your taglines of hard together and one pack and all these things, you kind of made, and I don't fault the player for doing what's best for them, but when you kind of make that selfish decision, it's putting yourself in the path to go somewhere else.
And you look at the locker room. Like, how's the locker room going to look and say, hold on, we're on a hot streak right here. We got something big to play for. We got our big rivalry matchup coming up with North Carolina. You decide to sit out. I don't know how the locker room would actually take this guy back.
I thought he might have been saved by the locker room by Brennan Armstrong playing well. Yeah. Almost like no harm, no foul, right? You electing to sit out didn't ruin our season. We still won. But it seemed like a decision that once you decide to sit out, it's going to end up in the transfer portal. The interesting part is NC State has now set themselves up to be a portal quarterback team, right? When you bring in Brennan Armstrong on a very obvious kind of, I don't know if it's called a deal, like a one-year deal.
Yeah, one-year deal.
When you bring him in on a one-year deal, MJ Morris was probably expecting to step in and be the starter this year from the very beginning. You bring in Brennan Armstrong, okay, you're going to make a business decision, bring in your guy on a one-year deal. I'm going to make business decisions on my side. So now, without MJ Morris, Brennan Armstrong's eligibility expired. There's Lex Thomas, Thayer Thomas, Drake Thomas's little brother on the roster, but he's raw and young. This next year, NC State's going to be shopping in the portal for a starter, most likely. And once you do it once, you kind of set yourself up to get caught in that cycle.
We've seen Riley Leonard's leaving Duke. We've seen now MJ Morris is leaving. Drake May likely to the NFL. They got Max Johnson from Texas A&M. So this is just the norm now. I mean, we saw Sam Hartman go from Wake Forest to Notre Dame. This is just what it is. I mean, Kent State's quarterback is in the portal. He has 3 years of eligibility left, and he's a grad transfer, actually, which is just wild to think about. I don't know. Do you go that route? Who knows? But either way, we were told by MJ Morris, or at least by the family, saying like, no, the plan's not to transfer. When he decided to sit out, the plan's not to transfer. And some people were like, we're skeptical. I think a lot of us were, but some people were like, I'll take people at their word. But I don't know. It's kind of, who do you trust?
Well, I think even if the plan wasn't to transfer, I think, once the dust settles, you look around and go, oh, maybe we have to.
Yeah.
Right? We thought we could make this decision for MJ and still kind of have our cake and eat it too. We were hoping for it, but it just doesn't work out that way. Then now, in a bigger picture, this is for state, this is for college football. You plan every year one at a time with your quarterback.
Yeah.
It's if things go well, they might go too well, and then they're poached by Notre Dame. If things go poorly, all right, well, now you might move on from your quarterback and go to the next guy. You brought up Riley Leonard leaving Duke. Drake May probably going pro, but then you bring in Max Johnson for I don't know why I said probably. He's going pro. Max Johnson at NC or UNC, but Grayson McCall at Coastal. KJ Jefferson at Arkansas. Mitch Griffiths at Wake. Forest. He was the starter for most of the year. Shaky hold on the starter job, but now he's going into the transfer portal. The fact of the matter is, if you are a coach, your quarterback is only there as long as he's happy and the grass isn't greener somewhere else. So you plan 1 year at a time. Like for NC State, whoever you're bringing in next year, you plan 1 year at a time, because planning anything more than that, you're just setting yourself up to be disappointed.
We see Notre Dame went with Sam Hartman for a year. Now apparently the rumor is Riley Leonard, who only has 1 year of eligibility
likely
left.
Destination, although I'm seeing Auburn also making a strong push.
But are we going to start to see the trend in college football where some programs might just, hey, we're just going to go in the portal and find a guy for 2 years? Almost go like the one-and-done basketball route, essentially. Hey, we're going to get you 1, maybe 2 years, and then we're just going to go ahead and find the next guy. Or do you go the route of, we're going to recruit as much talent at quarterback as we possibly can, a 4 or 5 star guy, and then we supplement around that guy with the, hey, let's go, like Florida State, let's go get the Keon Coleman. Let's go get this other guy, a running back or something like that. I don't know. It's college coaches are figuring all this out on the fly, and I don't think there's one right or wrong way, but college coaches have to be willing to adapt.
And the last point I'll make is depth at the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be non-existent.
You think so?
If guys aren't playing, they're going to leave. It's or electing to preserve their red shirt, even if you're on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
The depth at the quarterback position is it's not going to be a thing. If you bring in a 5-star freshman, you're going to have to play him as a freshman, because if they don't play their freshman year, they're going to leave after their freshman year. So you bring in the 5-star, you play him right away. Now, what about the sophomore, junior, and senior on your roster makes you think they're going to hang around to back up a guy younger than them? Heck no, they're going to get out because they can. And the transfer portal is a thing, and it's an opportunity. And even if they've already transferred once, they'll wait till they graduate and transfer again. I can't emphasize this enough. You plan for 1 year in college football. MJ Morris was never a full year starter for NC State.
No. He started a total, 7 games, 8 games?
Yeah, 7 or 8 games. And that is – and he's a major part of 2 seasons as a depth piece.
Yeah.
That guy is gonna go and test the waters elsewhere, according to Pack Pride. That's not good for depth in college football. You're going to have your starter – and you're going to have some real team first, like walk-on types backing them up that just love being a part of the team. And other than that, I don't know how you keep someone more than a year.
Wild times.
Wild times. Quick emergency pack therapy. There'll be more posted later this week. Follow us everywhere podcasts can be found. Thanks to Dennis for jumping on with us. We'll be back later this week. See you.